This training details conducting two-way stop control intersection analysis using the highway capacity software. This video will detail creating a new analysis inputs and results, and reporting within HCS. It is important to note that this training was created with HCS 7. For this training video, analysis for a sample two-way stop-controlled intersection will be conducted. The sample intersection has two through lanes in each direction and a two-way left turn lane on the major street. The stop-controlled approaches have a shared through and right lane and an exclusive left turn lane. After opening HCS, click the Stop header. Two more options will drop down: All-Way Stop Control and Two-Way Stop Control. Click on Two-Way Stop Control. Then this screen will open. Under the Start header, click on New File. This process may also be used to open recent files, which will be listed under the Recent header, or open other files by clicking on Open File under the Start header. The project file will open to the General tab. Under the project properties, the analyst should enter the information for the study. There are no prescribed guidelines on how the project properties information is populated. However, it is encouraged to be as descriptive as possible, especially in the analysis year and the time period analyzed. In this example, the time period analyzed includes both the peak hour as well as the scenario, which in this case is no build. Proper labeling is especially helpful when multiple alternatives and analysis years are being evaluated. The intersection name and road names are entered in the corresponding input boxes. The direction of the major street must be identified. The major street is uncontrolled, with the minor street having stop-controlled approaches. The existing peak hour factor for the intersection should be entered in the peak hour factor box. If the existing peak hour factor is unknown, a default peak hour factor of 0.92 should be used. Refer to section 5.2 for more information on peak hour factors. The major street median type is selected from the drop-down box. Available choices are undivided, through and left only. A wide median or two-way left turn lane provides the ability for minor street vehicles to make a two-stage movement where they cross one direction of the major street and then pause in the median to wait for a gap in the other direction. Through and left is selected if the geometry permits both throughs and left turns from the minor street to store in the median for two-stage movements. An example of this would be an intersection at a divided highway with a wide grass median. Left only is selected if only left turns can wait in the median. The two-way left turn lane at the example intersection is an example of a left-only median type. Undivided is selected when there is no median storage. If through and left or left only is selected, the number of vehicles able to store in the median at one time must be entered in the median storage field. The first step under the Lanes heading involves setting the lane configurations. Lane use arrows can be toggled using the gray buttons around the edge of the intersection schematic figure. Lanes need to be set by approach. The right turn channelized box is checked when the right turning traffic from the major street is separated by an island and must comply with a stop or yield sign. This is a special case of an exclusive right turn lane. In the example shown on this slide, the eastbound right turn lane is channelized and must yield when completing the turning movement. The flared minor street approach box is checked when an approach has one lane, but two vehicles may occupy or depart from the stop line simultaneously as a result of a large curb radius. The example shown on this slide is a single lane off-ramp, but due to the curb radius, two vehicles could be side by side at the stop line. Right turning vehicles could occupy the area shown by the green arrow. The flared minor street storage is the number of spaces for right turning cars that can queue at the stop line without obstructing the access to the stop line for other movements. In the example shown on this slide, the flared minor street storage is two vehicles. The hourly demand for the PM peak hour should be entered by movement. These values represent the hourly volume for the peak hour. As a reminder, the program employs the peak hour factor to adjust the total 60-minute demand volume to an equivalent hourly volume for the peak 15-minute period. When there is a through lane coded alongside a shared left through lane or shared through right lane, the analyst must enter a value for the percent of through vehicles used in the shared lane. These percentages are based on traffic count observations. Refer to Section 5.6 for information regarding lane utilization measurements and inputs. For this example intersection, the through volumes are equally distributed and the percent throughs using shared lane is 50%. The heavy vehicle percentage should be entered based on calculated values from the existing traffic counts. Heavy vehicle percentages should be entered by approach, not individual movement. For more information, see Section 5.5 in the OATS manual. Major street left turn lanes that are just a pocket lane and not a full-length left turn lane are considered short left turn pocket lanes, and the analyst should check the yes box. The number of vehicles that can be stored in the short left turn pocket lane must also be entered. The left turn storage is a value from 0 to 9. The analyst can assume an average vehicle length of 25 feet when converting storage length to number of vehicles. As discussed in the OATS manual, HCS default values for all headway inputs should be used. Refer to Section 6.5.2.2 for information regarding headway inputs. The Adjustments tab allows the analyst to input pedestrian information. For most ODOT projects, these inputs will be left blank unless there are a high number of pedestrians at the intersection. The two-way stop control methodology computes control delay and LOS for the left turn movements on the major street approaches and for each movement and approach on the stop control minor street. Weighted average control delay and LOS for the intersection as a whole is not reported. The method also computes a 95th percentile Q for the major street left turn lanes and each lane on the minor street. The Report tab generates a formatted report for the two-way stop control analysis results.